Hello. So thank you so much if you've clicked on this video. I'm not too sure if it's going to get too much interest, but I'm going to do a little Q&A of about 20 questions that I found on the internet. And I'm going to answer some questions about myself and just some fun questions and maybe some more insightful questions in there as well. So, what inspired you to start your YouTube channel and how did you choose your niche is the first question. So my YouTube channel, this particular YouTube channel is one that started off in a previous life as a different channel. And then I think I deleted that channel and then I made this channel, which was a continuation of the previous channel. But it started off as me wanting to make, I don't remember how or why exactly, but I wanted to make a YouTube channel about astrology. I think first I had a channel called Matto Astrology. And I suppose I wanted to branch out a little bit and not limit myself too much. So I wanted to make a new channel later on. After I discontinued the previous channel, I made another channel, this channel called Matto Thinks, because I wanted to still kind of focus on astrology, but also I wanted to talk about other things as well, because I knew that I'm somebody who likes to express thoughts and insights if I have any, and kind of give my views on astrology and also other things. So I wanted to call it Matto Thinks because it doesn't limit me to just astrology, if that makes sense. So what inspired me to create the channel, I mean, I've watched a lot of YouTube for the past many years. I think I'm probably watching a lot more now than I used to watch, but I think just I like the idea of people having the freedom to be able to just, if you have to be able to make a channel and just talk about what you want to talk about. I think that's, it's beautiful to have that freedom. And I suppose that's what inspired me. It wasn't necessarily that a specific another channel inspired me, or specific creators inspired me specifically to make my own channel. It wasn't like that really. It was just something that it felt like it was a natural thing for me to do, because I like to talk and think about certain things, and I wanted a place to share those. And I think in this day and age, one of the things that is beautiful about having the internet is that we can have the freedom, right, to just record and talk into a microphone and into a camera, and we can share what we think, and you can create a community, you can build a community if you're lucky, and you can help people, and you can give people information. And I think that's beautiful that we have that freedom. So I think it was just natural for me to make a channel, because on some level I wanted to be a part of that. I wanted to use that freedom that I have to create a channel. If I have ideas, if I have some equipment, I can do that. And I think that's beautiful that we have that freedom, that basically anybody can do that. I think that's great. I think it's probably going to be about 18 questions, because I just looked at the questions that I had put down, and the next two are very much related to what I've already said, so I'm just going to skip them. They're also about my YouTube channel, which I kind of already touched on. So, do you hope to get famous in the future? I saw this question, and I wanted to answer it because I sometimes think about this, because I don't think I would like to be famous. I don't think I would enjoy it. But of course, we don't know what our experience of something will be. Of course, there's benefits to these things, and there's pros and cons. But I just think personally, my sensitivity and my sort of anxiety is going to if I was famous, it would sort of get in the way, I think, in some ways. And I think I would have to be very focused on the purpose of what I'm actually doing, instead of getting swept up in the fame, if I was famous, I would have to be very careful not to let that kind of overshadow anything else, I think. And even the idea of having the thought of having a lot of subscribers, if I had like, 100,000 subscribers or a million subscribers or something, I think that would make me uncomfortable in some ways. I would be appreciative of it, and I think it would be better for me to just have a YouTube following that's large than be like internationally famous or something. But I still think even just having the YouTube fame or the YouTube large following would be a little bit difficult for me as well. But I'm just kind of moving along. I'm just kind of doing my thing. And if somebody, likes my videos and wants to subscribe, that's very much appreciated. So I think as long as I keep focused on what I'm doing and hope that it's interesting for somebody, or hopefully many people, then that's kind of what matters to me. Next question, let me see. How many countries have you been to? So I've been to Ireland, Estonia, Finland, Slovakia, Hungary, England, and Scotland. Yeah, so I'm not going to go into a whole bunch of detail about this, but those are the places that I've been to, the countries that I've been to. So, which movie did you watch last? So, the last movie that I went to see, I saw it in the cinema, was All of Us Strangers, and it was my second time seeing it actually, because I just really liked it so much the first time that I wanted to go see it in another cinema as well. It came out in another cinema in my town as well, and I went to see it, and there was things about it that I didn't really remember from the first time, and it was really moving, and I just kind of it was very so it was sort of slow moving and a slow burner, but in a way that really worked because you kind of get, at least I did, you kind of get sucked into the story and the characters' emotional worlds and things like that. So I think it's a very captivating movie. Next question is, what's the last movie you cried to? And I put this in because I actually did get a little bit teary-eyed. I didn't completely bawl my eyes out, but my eyes got a little bit wet watching the movie All of Us Strangers the last time. I think possibly the first time as well, but certainly the second time that I watched it, I actually did feel my eyes getting a little bit wet. So there's that. I put this next question in for fun. I just saw it and I thought, well, why not answer it? Because it's something that I sometimes like to keep track of for some reason. How many shoes do you have? So, not a lot. I have, well, I tried to have two pairs of like what I would call runners for just like everyday wear, and I kind of alternate between them. So I have two pairs of those, and I have a pair of running shoes that I use for when I go running. And then I have a pair, I think I still have I'm not sure if I still have them, but I had a pair of like these boots that I didn't wear very regularly, but I had those. I got them for free because I had a voucher. And I have a pair of like flip-flops, but things like that. But yeah, that's basically it. So I have two pairs of regulars that I wear and my running shoes, and maybe my boots. I don't know if I still have them. Should have checked before making the video. But anyway, yeah, I try to have two pairs that I wear regularly and then my running shoes. The next question that I've chosen is, have you ever cheated on a test? Yes. So at school, I remember specifically one time, actually two times. There's probably more, but I remember two times where I cheated. I don't know why. I just wasn't like willing to just be honest that I don't know these answers. But what I did was, the first time that I remember is that it was a mathematics test, and I pre-wrote the multiplication table, and I had it in my hand, and I just peeked into it, and I would use that as a guide because I was really bad at the multiplication table at the time. I got better at it. I really kind of hammered it into my head after that, but I wrote the multiplication table down. I had it in my hand, and then my other hand was writing the answers, and I would like look at the look at what I had pre-written. And then the other time that I remember is that we were doing a history test or history essay or something like that, and I was kind of struggling with history at the time, and I had pre-written something, and then I pretended that I was writing it now, but I had actually pre-written it. So I was like pretending to like write it, and when actually it was already pre-written. And both times, well, actually, the first time I got caught in the moment, and the second time, I think the teacher didn't specifically call me out on it and didn't specifically catch me, but I think she had an inkling that I was doing that, because she kind of mentioned that there are people in the class maybe who are bringing pre-written answers possibly, or something like that. So I thought that, okay, she's referring to me and maybe someone else as well. Do you enjoy shopping in the mall or online? So I would say both have their pros and cons. I'm not a huge shopper, but I do enjoy going into a physical shop. There's a bit less choice in my town, but there is a little bit of choice. Of course, you can go to other places, but I kind of enjoy the idea and the feeling of just going into a shop and like browsing and actually walking out with something that you like and that you're happy with. I kind of like that feeling. I do like window shopping as well, but I enjoy going and actually picking something out and walking out and having something, you know, good for myself that I liked, things like that. And then online shopping, of course, is very handy. It's very useful because it is so convenient, and there's more choice. You can just get so many different things that you wouldn't be able to get in this town in a physical shop. So I enjoy that, but I try not to overdo it either. The next question is, would you go to space? I think it would certainly be a very interesting thing to do, but I think just the person that I am in this lifetime, I don't know if I would have the courage to go. Of course, I would have to like look into it and see like all the requirements and where I'm at in my life and the benefits and like what am I doing it for, like all these kinds of things. Maybe I would do it, but I think I would be a bit scared to do it. The next question is, what is something you'd like to improve on? And what came into my mind first was things related to confidence. So I think confidence in myself would be something that would really help me um, improve in other areas of my life. So I think if you have self confidence, and you really believe that your abilities are good enough, and you know your abilities kind of inside out, then that can help you move forward and do things and accomplish things and achieve things. And I think that would be great for me, just to have that feeling that I actually have these abilities and this is my unique potential and this is what I'm going to do in the world. Because there are so many times where I kind of doubt myself and doubt those abilities, like even when it's clear that I have an ability in something, sometimes I still doubt it and I worry that maybe it's not enough or it's not good enough for this particular thing that I'm trying to go towards, let's say. So I think working on my confidence and having a bit more self-confidence would be beneficial for myself, and I think a lot of people would benefit from more confidence. I mean, obviously. Uh, Next is, have you ever been arrested? No, I've never been arrested. I've never been in trouble with the law. Next question. When is the last time you were sick? So when I was a kid, I would get fevers quite often. I would be sick in bed for days and days. And then as I got older, it started happening less and less, you know. which is a good thing. But at the last time, I think it was probably the last time I was sick, would have been like early last year. And I believe that it was actually, I don't know if I want to count this, but if I'm counting this, then it was after I got one of my COVID jabs, and I actually, if if we want to call it sick, I was a little bit out of it for about a day. So I was very drowsy and I was sleeping um, a lot. And I felt weird and I felt sick. Um, and before that, it would have been maybe a few months before that. That had nothing to do with a jab potentially, um, because yeah, I was just feverish and runny nose, cough for maybe 4 days. But it doesn't happen particularly often, and that's good. Next is, how often do you brush your teeth? Well, I try to do twice a day. There are times when I forget or just skip in the evening if I'm very tired and I want to go to bed, or if I forget sometimes, but I try to do twice a day. Can you share something about yourself that most of your audience wouldn't know? Let's see. Well, it's pretty tame. I'm sure there's lots of things I could say, but the first thing that I thought of is that um, my housemate has two cats. So I have two cats here in the apartment. One of them is just turning 2, I think, this month, and the other is about 3 months old. And so we just got her about a month ago. And right now they're not getting along very well. So they're mostly separate in the apartment, but there are times when my housemate lets them play together, like puts them into the same room or allows them to be in the same room, and they can kind of play together and get to know each other a bit better, get more comfortable with each other. But they will start being quite, you know, a little bit aggressive with each other. It might be just playful, but for me, I don't like to witness it, because it seems like they're just fighting, and just like the bigger one could actually hurt the younger one. But we have a way of diffusing that, so it's not too bad right now, and it's only going to get better, I think, because once the little one gets a little bit bigger, and once they start getting more comfortable with each other and knowing each other better, they'll get more used to each other. I think it's only going to improve even more. I'm going to leave this as the last question. It's what are some of your hobbies outside of YouTube? I think that's a great question. Um, so I like watching movies. I've already mentioned that I went to see All of Us Strangers recently. I've seen a lot of movies over the past maybe 4 years, because I got really into movies about 4 years ago. Before that, I was into movies, but I wasn't as into movies. I wasn't as regularly watching them as I am now. It's something in me shifted. I just started watching more movies. Um, I also like to go for like really long walks around town and just anywhere, and listen to podcasts about psychology as I'm walking, even as I'm running. If I'm going for my runs, I will listen to podcasts or YouTube videos or audiobooks about like psychology or just anything that I find interesting, astrology or anything that is interesting to me that day. And I do like to go running, and that is my bit of exercise that I try to do nowadays. And I will say, actually, I like art, and I'm not really an artist to the full extent that I would like to be myself. But I actually bought some art supplies today. Kind of, it was very much an impulse buy. I was in the shop getting something else, and I ended up buying some art supplies. So I think I'm going to try to improve my like artistic sensibilities a little bit, because I think that part of myself has fallen asleep a little bit, and I would like to wake it back up. like, I think it's important. It's like brain training, right? I think it's important to train different sides of yourself that you have. So if you have potential for creativity, then you need to like actually put effort into expressing that, and like awaken that spirit inside you. I know I'm going a bit into a different territory altogether, but I just think I know that I, like, when I was a kid, I would draw so much, and it's just a part of me that has fallen asleep. So I would like to just try to draw, maybe paint as well, just something that can maybe liven up that creative spirit that I know is within me. So I'm actually going to do another video probably soon where I answer mostly astrology related questions, so kind of a Q&A about astrology. I have some questions prepared about that. I just didn't want to make this video too long, so look out for that video. So thank you so much for watching this video. It was really fun to do. And if you have any specific questions that you'd like to ask me for maybe a future video, either about myself or about astrology or what I think about something, you can leave comments down below, and subscribe if you want more from me, and leave a like if you like this. Thank you.